Well, I'd like to think that I come at this with a bit of a unique perspective, having been born and raised here and literally grown up on Al McCoy's voice.
In 1979, if you were a kid that was into sports and broadcasting in Phoenix, Arizona, you gravitated towards Al McCoy. He was legendary already at that point and just became more legendary throughout the years.
You know, me as a kid, not exactly built like a basketball player, but wanting very much to be a basketball player on the courts in Tempe, Arizona. Shazam, twine time, zing, go the strings, all the things that Al McCoy would say on the broadcast, and you would yell them and shout them when you were on the basketball court.
He knows my immense respect that I had for him from a very young age. So when I got to work with the Phoenix Suns as the PA announcer, we were kind of co-workers at that point. And what I always loved about Al is that before games, no, not every night, but during dinner, the media dinner before games, he'd stroll over and he'd just give me that, "Hey Vince, so what's the happening? What's going on in the sports radio world?" And my answer was always, nothing new, Al, really. And then he would sit down and proceed to fill me in on all the gossip that he had from his contacts.
We were doing a remote broadcast, Gambo and I, and Al came out to be on the air with us to say his goodbye in that regard. We had him on for a couple of segments. Somebody in our promotions team snapped a photo of me and him, and then later somebody tweeted it and said, "Find somebody who looks at you the way Dave Burns looks at Al McCoy." And I thought, yeah, find somebody who looks at you the way I look at Al McCoy, because that look is how I felt about Al McCoy, and gonna miss him.
Al was simply one of a kind. He is so important to the sports history of this city, the history of the Phoenix Suns. In a lot of ways, he is the Phoenix Suns. I'm honored that I got a chance to know him, to call him a friend and a coworker, and he will be greatly missed.